Let's get into it. The difference between you and someone making over $100,000 a year on Etsy. There are many of those sellers, as we know. And as I said at the beginning here when I first got on the Zoom call, you are here right now because you want to be a six-figure seller. You want to create a mega shop. And right now there is a gap. And what we're trying to do is figure out how to fill in the gap between where you're at and where you want to be. And that's what this workshop is going to be all about today. So I want you guys to pay attention and I need you to stay until the end. I know there's going to be some parts of this where I'm going to lose you guys because I am going to talk a little bit about mindset, but it will all come together in a way that is going to give you a light bulb moment galore, okay? I sent out the email about this Zoom workshop and I said I had a That's So Raven moment this morning where I just got this vision. I was like, this is the stuff I need to say. There are people that need to hear it. And so I know it has a purpose because I trust myself and my intuition and the fact that I know that this is a message that somebody here today, if not many of you, need to hear. So please stick with me. And we're gonna do, like I said, a Q&A at the end and get deeper into some things that you may be wondering about as I go along. Okay, so the secret is that top sellers are using 3 secret tags in their listing descriptions, okay? They're using 3 secret tags, which boosts their ranking of their listings to the first page of search results every single time. 3 secret tags. If you fell for that, you're exactly who I made this video for. You're exactly what we're sitting here today for, and you absolutely must watch this workshop in its entirety, okay? So for those of you not tracking, there are no 3 secret tags. No one is putting secret tags in their descriptions. Nobody is really being successful doing anything like that at all. You just wish they were because it would make your job of getting to 6-figure status very easy, right? I get it. But there are none. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Do not shoot the messenger, okay? So let's get back to the actual difference between you and someone making over $100,000 on Etsy. I want to start by saying the right strategy is the easy part. And for some of you, you may have heard me say similar things before. So you might be like, oh, I don't need this workshop. You still need this workshop. We're going to reiterate a lot of things and mash them up in different ways. And I'm going to present things to you in a way I haven't ever presented it before. Okay? I teach the right strategy to people all the time. It's in my master course, Top Seller Secret. The strategy is tested, it's proven, it's incredibly straightforward, it's very simple. Okay? The strategy part is easy. Now again, there are no hacks. People want to know, should I be sending coupons? Should I be running a sale? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? They're the little hacks that they're chasing after to be like, will this get me sales faster, right? We are a hackless community here at Be a Wolf Biz because hacks are so boring because they don't work. If they worked, everyone would be a mega seller because all they would have to do is follow the hacks that everybody is talking about on YouTube, right? It's just not the case. So you think top sellers have different hacks and strategies that if you could just figure them out, you'd be a top seller too. And here's a GIF depiction of you glued to the YouTube videos waiting for that thing that's going to make you a top seller, right? That's what you actually look like. There's a hidden camera in your living room. I understand why people do this. I understand the desire to figure it out. I understand that need to get that one thing, those couple of things even that you're missing out on, right? But spoiler alert, 6-figure sellers do not build their empire on hacks and strategy. I'm gonna say this one more time to make it very clear because I know even saying it out loud, a lot of you don't believe me, but I wanna reiterate, they do not build their empire on hacks and strategy. This is coming from somebody who was a mega seller. This is coming from somebody who talks to mega sellers every single day, who learned how to become mega sellers from my strategy, right? From my perspective. These 6-figure sellers, me as a 6-figure seller, we did not build our empire on hacks and strategies. We tried in the beginning, just like you're trying. Most of us went through the exact same process. The difference is we shifted at some point, right? So mega sellers do leverage the correct strategy as support beams to what truly built their empire, which is expertise in the one top most important thing, demand. Supply and demand. That's the game. That's a whole game that we're in here. You think you're in a game of finding hacks that are gonna get more views on your products. More people will buy because more people are looking. Just not the way it works. More people don't buy because more people are looking. Strategy is a supporting player. It's super important, but by no means is it everything, okay? If you do not agree with me, cool, amazing. I want you to show me one mega seller shop that has not absolutely and completely mastered demand. I'm gonna go ahead and wait for you guys to do that. I invite you to DM me any shop that's a mega seller shop on Etsy or in general anywhere ever that has not absolutely and completely mastered demand. You won't, because you can't. You can't show me that because it does not exist. But somehow, so many of you are still awaiting mega seller levels of results without that level of required expertise. Somebody make that make sense to me. We know for sure that six-figure sellers don't build their empire on hacks and strategies, that they become experts in demand, and you can't find a single mega shop without the highest level of expertise in demand. But we're still expecting those same results without doing the same type of work they did in order to build that expertise. It doesn't make sense, you guys, right? It's something that we hope would be the case. It's simply not the case. So top sellers understand how building a mega shop is about becoming an absolute genius at understanding current demand, shoppers' wants and needs, and the emotional connection in their designs. Here's a clue. Notice what's missing from this list. Understanding current demand, shoppers' wants and needs, and emotional connection in their designs. This is what mega sellers are focused on, right? So what's missing from this list that might be included in your list that you're currently trying to build? What's missing is anything at all about the seller's wants and desires. There's nothing here about the seller, because you know why? Your wants and desires do not matter. The difference between you and top sellers boils down to one thing, and it's not a freaking hack that you somehow missed in your 17,000 hours of YouTube binging. It's just not, and it never will be. The one difference between you and top sellers boils down to attachment, also known as your passion or your focus. And now right here is where I need you to stick with me, because I know I'm gonna lose a lot of you mentally when I say that, because you're like, damn, I was hoping for those 3 hashtags I could stick in my description to get me on the first page. I know. I've been working with you guys for 6-7 years. I know how you think. I know what you're hoping for, and I refuse to give it to you because it doesn't exist. I'm giving you what you actually need. It's harder to hear, it's harder to do. It takes a deeper level of commitment. It takes more mental toughness, and it's literally the only thing that works. So it's the only thing that I'm gonna talk about. And within this workshop, we're gonna get you on the 6-figure trajectory. You're going to thank me later, so I need you to stick with me, okay? You are attached to outcomes. You are attached to figuring out how to get more results. You are attached to making results happen faster. You are attached to what you want. And I know this to be true because I listen to the language that you guys use. I know the questions that you're asking. I know what's happening even in your body when you're asking these questions, the feelings you're getting, the emotions that are driving the questions. I understand the psychology. I understand every single corner of why you're attached to outcomes. I get it. And it makes sense on some degree, because you're like, Brittany, I started this to make money. I started this to build a business, and you want me not to be attached to outcomes? My answer is kind of yes, right? Because you're constantly, consciously and subconsciously begging the question, how do I make more sales faster? If you're in the chat right now, I need everybody in here to say me. If you have ever asked this question to yourself, to others, subconsciously, consciously, how do I make more sales faster? It's the number one question I'm asked. How do I make more sales faster? And you genuinely just want to know the answer, right? How do I get from here having no sales to more sales faster? And you guys would be so excited if I told you, listen, I just figured something out. You put 3 keywords in your description at the bottom of the sizing. Make sure you put an X in front of it and then a hashtag at the end. And it's gonna do something to the coding of the algorithm that's gonna get your product to the first page of search. You'd be like, tell me right now, I'm in, I'll do it right now. Take any amount of my money, I need that strategy. But guess what? You would put those secret little keywords into your description. Your listing would get on the first page of search. And guess what? You probably still wouldn't make sales. Let's let that land for a second. You're on the first page of search. Congratulations. You created a hack. You might even be getting a few more views. Probably not going to make more sales. You know why? Because products that are going to make sales anyways, because they have demand, because the seller has mastered demand, get to the first page of search naturally. Because the algorithm knows how to hook people up with what they want. So it's not that you need more visibility. It's that you need better demand. You need to be better at creating products that people actually want. Getting in front of people is zero use if you have something that fewer people want. You're like, no, Brittany, I know if I just got in front of more people, they would buy my products. You think that. You don't actually know that. And trust me, I have seen the types of products. I'm everything that I'm saying in this workshop today, it may be one of my tough, loveliest workshops ever. But everything that I'm saying here today is a reflection of the experience I have with sellers just like you who are constantly begging this question. How do I make more sales faster? I know what the products they're creating look like. I know that most of us suck at the beginning at creating designs that people actually want. Because guess what? All of us suck at everything new we're trying. Most of the time, very few people are naturally inclined to just be really, really good at something they have no experience in. I always give the piano example. Nobody sits down at a piano and is able to play Mozart their first time. But people open a print-on-demand shop and expect to just zoom off. And they feel entitled to those results, and it makes no sense. You haven't even practiced. You haven't even studied. You haven't even gotten good. What are you talking about? You want to make 6 figures. One foot in front of the other, right? So how does this type of attachment feel to you? When we're constantly screaming in our brains, desperate, how do I make more sales faster? I know how it feels. It feels like this. It feels freaking horrible. When you're watching endless amounts of YouTube videos, when you're digging and when you're trying all these different things, when you're relying on strategy, when you're just craving it, right? I've seen people join my master course, Top Seller Secret, and you guys don't know this, but I can see the order in which you watch certain modules. I've seen people jump into Top Seller Secret, go straight to E-Rank. That's the only thing they watch. They pay the entire entry fee into my master course, and they go straight to the strategy they think they need. And I'm not saying E-Rank's not helpful. It is incredibly helpful, but people think it's the only thing they need. They're like, if I just have the right keywords, if I can get in front of more people, I've got this on lock. And when I tell you that when I learned how to figure out, or when I figured out E-Rank and I created my unique strategy to do it, that it increased my sales by 50%, I really mean it. But the difference between me and that person desperate to just use that E-Rank strategy really quick is I had already had 1 or 2 years of demand expertise building. So I already had stuff people wanted. I was already going through those motions, spending hours and hours and hours a day on Pinterest and YouTube and Etsy and Instagram, or wherever I could get information about current trend, not hacks, about current demand, what people were actually looking for, what they were excited about, what they were interested in. I had already mastered that in 1 or 2 years of very, very, very focused work. And then I found the E-Rank strategy, implemented it, and my shop exploded even further than it already had. But people will buy my course, go straight to E-Rank, implement it, and be like, doesn't work. She's selling me snake oil. They don't even watch the rest. They have no idea about the fact that they actually have to get good at selling. You actually have to have things people want, right? You actually have to be good at understanding these things. Just like every single mega seller that ever existed, that will ever exist, has gotten good at. Okay? I hope this is landing with you guys. When you're asking that question, when you're begging that question, I like saying begging that question because that really is the energy that it's coming from. How do I make more sales faster? I feel like I'm doing everything right. I'm not making sales. I'm doing this and this, and I feel like my mock-ups look good. I feel like my SEO is right. I feel like I have really cute designs. Why isn't it working, right? It's coming from this energy of desperation and like pleading with somebody somewhere, save me, give me the strategy. Right? It feels frustrating. It feels rage inducing. It feels sad, right? It feels like grief because you're like, I cannot figure this out and I want it to work more than I've ever wanted anything ever to work. I hear a lot of people coming to me saying, I want to quit my 9 to 5. I want to be able to retire my husband. I want to be able to pay for my kids' college. I want to get out of debt. I want to buy my dream home. They have all of these attachments and they're like, I have to make this work. I have to find the right strategy because I have to do this. It feels sad, hopeless, overwhelming, and demotivating. What a horrible feeling to have when you're trying to build something new. So, what's the one thing that is absolutely guaranteed to keep you from creating a mega shop? Trying to do it while dominantly feeling frustrated, enraged, sad, hopeless, overwhelmed, and demotivated. Everything that comes with begging the question, where are my sales? How do I make sales faster? You cannot build a mega shop while asking that question and feeling these feelings. And this is why constantly I'm talking about laser focus, laser focus, laser focus, laser focus. And people ask me, well, Brittany, should I run a sale? Stop asking that question and get laser focused. Brittany, should I be reaching out to my customers? Should I be creating a website? Stop asking those questions and get laser focused on the only thing that you need to laser focus on, which is creating more expertise and getting better at giving people what they're actually and actively looking for. Mega sellers, on the contrary, are attached to providing for their customers in the best ways possible. And by attached, I mean obsessed. I mean, they are obsessed with their customers and with providing for their customers in the best way possible, okay? As a matter of fact, they are as obsessed with making their customers happy by providing them with exactly what they want as you are obsessed with making yourself happy by creating more and faster results. Just gonna sip my tea here. They're as obsessed with their customers as you are obsessed with your own results. Okay? Mega sellers fundamentally understand that yes, they do need the right strategy, but they equally, if not more so, need to always focus on understanding more about their customers all the time so they can be better at selling what people want to buy. I give you guys the example of me and my own shop all the time, okay? 10 years ago now, I opened a shop. I started selling high-waisted shorts because I realized, hey, I'm making these for myself. A lot of people can't find them elsewhere. I bet they're gonna buy from me if I put them up. Guess what? They did within 24 hours. I was right. But I didn't stop there. It wasn't like, oh, good, I'll just continue to sell this one thing and hope that maybe more people will find it and buy it. Let me find more strategies on how to help more people look at it. Like, I did a little strategy, but my biggest focus was, what other products can I create that these people are gonna get excited by? Who are the customers that are buying these high-waisted shorts so quickly? Where are they wearing them to? What do they want about them? What's making them excited? And then I created daisy shorts and unicorn shorts and glitter shorts and shorts with studs on them, and everybody was wearing them to festivals, and my customers were so happy and so excited, and I was so happy and so excited just being connected to them. And still to this day, never having been to a rave or festival in my entire life, I had the same style as them, so I was equally as excited about it. I'm like, yes, girl, this is gonna be so cute on you. Pair this with this tank top that I also created, especially to go with these shorts. And of course people are like, yeah, give me that, give me that, give me that. Oh, you like that tank top? Let me give you this flower crown to wear with it's not going to be complete without the whole outfit. You got to buy all 5 of these things from me and you're set for your Coachella trip, right? I was obsessed with figuring out how to make their Raven Festival wear experiences better. And how do I make things that they love even more? Because I knew that was the unlock. I didn't have to focus on figuring out how to get people to buy from me. I was focused on how to create products that they couldn't resist. Researching all the time, testing things all the time, talking to customers all the time. So your attachment, frustrated, hopeless, rage-induced, disappointed, your attachment is to your own results. Mega sellers' attachment is serving their customers better by building expertise. They're not attached to the results. They're attached to the process of making the results happen. They understand that the right results are a natural byproduct of right action. If there's one singular thing that I could make everybody that follows me understand, it is the line that I just said. Right results are a natural byproduct of right action. And everybody thinks right action is finding more strategy, getting more people to see your products, the marketing of it. Everybody thinks the right action is better marketing. Marketing is half of the puzzle. Everybody neglects the whole other half of the puzzle, having stuff that people really want. And guess what? If you're really good at having the bigger and better that side of the puzzle is, the better you get at providing stuff that people want, the less marketing you even need. The less strategy you have to pay attention to. We've seen it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again on Etsy, where a listing will be totally and completely the worst listing ever. The mockup's terrible. The SEO is terrible. There's not even a description, and it has a bestseller badge. Why? Because it's seriously emotionally connective. It's doing something for the customer. So the algorithm naturally did what it is made to do. It connected that seller with that customer, even with the crappiest strategy and SEO and all of that sort of stuff that you guys think creates sales. It doesn't. There's proof of it all over the place. You can have bestseller. You could build a mega shop with just demand. It's harder. It's a lot harder. You need the right strategy to support. But when you have both, that's the equation. Right results are a natural byproduct of right action, which is focus on your customer and building demand, implement the right strategy, and stay balanced. You're not chasing results. You're not chasing the hacks. They don't exist. If they did, I would be teaching them to you. Because my job is to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And if there were really short, quick, powerful hacks, like putting 3 keywords in a description to get you on the first page of search that actually helped, I would be teaching you those things. Because my ultimate goal is to help you get to where you want to go. People think I'm not interested in getting you 6-figure results because I'm always telling you not to pay attention to the results. But I just understand that the right action is going to bring you to the right results. That's why I'm always only talking about the right action. You guys are always talking about the results. I'm always talking about the right action. You're like, well, yeah, how do I make sales faster? I'm like, well, let's get more focused on the results. And you're like, yeah, but I am focusing, or let's get more focused on the action. You're like, no, I'm doing the action, Brittany. And I say, no, you're not, because if you were, and you may just need more of it, but if you were doing it correctly, the right results would already be happening because they're a byproduct. We don't need to focus on the results. They happen effortlessly. It's like just this landslide of like, oh, there they are. And you barely notice because you're so focused on doing what you're supposed to do. So your dominant question is, how can I create more of my results faster? And Mega Seller's dominant question is, what else can I learn about my customer to get better at giving them what they want? Huge, huge, huge contrast here. Massive. Your dominant emotions are frustration, rage, overwhelm, sadness, hopelessness. You guys know I'm right. We're getting really real here. You know I'm right. During this time period where you're so attached to results, so crazy about making things happen, you're going to feel dominantly bad because your attachment is creating the wrong emotions because you're on the wrong path. The wrong trajectory always feels bad. Mega sellers' dominant emotions are curiosity, openness, natural drive, excitement, and connection to their buyers. From what I've learned about entrepreneurship, and I've been doing it a very long time, and I would say that I'm very naturally inclined to entrepreneurship, the one thing that I've learned that every entrepreneur has that no one ever talks about for some reason is curiosity. Non-naturally inclined entrepreneurs are so attached to their outcomes that they don't have any room for curiosity. They're not curious about anything. They're not like, maybe if I tried this, my customers would enjoy that more than that. Or maybe if I did it this way, but it's from a place of curiosity. Just let me try and see. When you're in the seller-centric focus, which we're going to talk about these terms in a second, you have no room for curiosity. It's like, did this work? Damn it, it didn't. Did this work? How do I make this work, right? There's so much forced behind it. Curiosity is flow. Curiosity is detachment. Curiosity is let me just see. And if it doesn't work, I was only curious about it to begin with, so it doesn't matter. I'm seriously teaching you guys my exact mindset that made me a six-figure seller within 18 months at 24 years old, having had zero e-commerce experience prior. Zero. Nothing. I'd never sold clothes. I never sold on Etsy, or I did, and I failed miserably with home decor at one point, but that's a whole other story for a whole other day. I didn't get very far with it. So I had zero experience on doing things right or doing things well or doing things with lots of practice. And what led me to where I got to so quickly, the right action led to the right results. I was focused curiously on opportunities. So your focus is on yourself, what you can get, what you can do, what you're getting or not getting. Mega sellers focus are on their customer 24/7, period, end of story. That's it. I never once thought, I didn't know six-figure shops existed. It's actually a benefit. I had that advantage. I didn't know that mega shops existed. I didn't know that six-figure sellers were a thing on Etsy. When I started, it was just like, let me see if I could do this. Let me see if people want this. And then when I made a few sales, it's like, well, let's see if I could sell this then. Because it seems like naturally it makes sense that if they wanted these galaxy shorts, they could also want these unicorn shorts because they're kind of the same thing. And if they're wearing them to festivals, I think that could work. And it did. 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 Because I was being led by curiosity, not by force. Never, ever, ever did I once ask, where are my results? Why aren't more people buying? How do I get more results faster? I didn't even know to think those things because my detachment from outcome game was so strong that it was basically just results were non-existent. It was like, yeah, they'll happen when I do the right stuff. So I don't need to be worried about where they are. I need to be worried about doing the right stuff. And the right stuff wasn't hacks. The right stuff wasn't all these little things that you think that we've been talking about exist, because they don't work that way. When you can finally stop focusing on getting what you want, what you're getting or not getting, what you desire, what you had planned, right? What you wanted to sell, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, then you finally have the mental space to figure out what the hell people paying you are willing to hand you their money for. That statement should leave you guys feeling like this. Okay, let me say it one more time. When you can finally stop focusing on what you want, what you're getting, what you desire, what you had planned, you finally have the mental space to figure out what the people actually paying you. Are you paying you? No. Your customers are paying you. So why are you paying more attention to yourself than you would the people that are handing you their money? It makes absolutely and entirely zero sense. So this is seller-centric versus customer-centric mindset. Mega sellers are customer-centric. They understand that this is a puzzle and that there are multiple moving pieces to every puzzle, strategy being part of it. But the key word is part of it. They're not asking, where are my sales? They're asking, how can I become better? How can I build more expertise? What else could I be providing that people could want based on the hard work that I've done researching what it is that they love? Seller-centric just continues to ask, where are my results? So boring. Seller-centric thinking is so boring. And like I said, it cultivates all the worst emotions. So seller-centric mindset is you're always stuck at 0 sales, maybe 5, 10, 20 sales, hell, even maybe 100 sales you get to over 5 years, right? By chance. Customer-centric mindset, these people are always growing at shocking rates. It's Tracy's 1.38 million in 2023 type of results. Shocks people. They don't even believe that it could be a thing. They're like, there's no way. No. There's no way doing it your way. People over here selling over $1 million a year with print on demand, they're doing it a completely different way than your way. Nobody's selling over $1 million a year. Nobody's selling $200,000 in 30 days. Nobody's selling, however much, anywhere above $10,000 a month. These huge, incredible, like jaw-dropping revenue numbers that are hard for you to believe are only hard for you to believe because you can't imagine getting to those destinations, getting those types of outcomes with the way that you're currently thinking. But you don't understand the way that you're currently thinking is your problem. And you think that they've implemented all these different strategic hacks that maybe you don't know about. No, they just got better at demand, period. I repeat this constantly and I'll say it again here. When I interviewed Tracy, my biggest mega seller ever to come out of Top Seller Secret, she said, I got to 6 figures and I decided I want to increase this. I want to go for the gold. I want to go even bigger. I know I can do better. What did she say she was going to do next? And everybody's like, she probably started running ads. She probably opened her own website. She probably started a Facebook group. Tracy herself said, I doubled down on research. I did more research. Because if you want to learn to play Beethoven on the piano and you want to learn how to play Beethoven and you've mastered it and now you want to play Mozart, what are you going to do? You're going to practice more. And so Tracy understands fundamentally, and this is why she's so capable and competent in being and staying a mega seller, is she understands doubling down on research is the right action. And she knows that's going to create the right results. And guess what? It did. She sold $250,000 in like 3 months at the beginning of last year, right? So we have all the proof that what I'm saying is the way that things work. It's just a matter of me convincing you guys to please drop the desperation, to drop that icky energy. You don't have to feel bad at all. This gets to be fun. This gets to be free-flowing. And the more fun and free-flowing and open and curious you are, the better the results that you get, because you're taking the right action in the right emotional context with the right mindset. You're allowing space for growth. Where you are attached determines your trajectory. Where you are attached. So what we just talked about, are you seller-centric? Are you customer-centric? Where your attachment lies is going to determine where your trajectory goes. People who quit were focused wrong. So many people quit. So many people will open an Etsy shop this year, this week, this month, today, and they'll just stop. They'll open it, they'll try a little bit, and they're like, whatever. Because they were seller-centric. They're like, I can't get the results that I want. Where are my results? How do I make it happen faster? That's why people quit. Because when you're all about yourself and you're attached to results, there's only so much you can try before the terrible emotions associated with being seller-centric will break you. You can only sustain frustration, desperation, sadness, grief, hopelessness for so long. The whole time you're designing and doing a little bit of research and just like doing enough to get by with an attachment to your results, the whole time you're doing all of that, it feels heavy, it feels burdensome, it feels like, why am I even doing this? I have to do it, I have to stick it out. That's a horrible feeling. Nobody wants to do that. You want to feel open and creative and free and like you're building the business of your dreams while you're doing this. And if you're focused on yourself and attached to your results, tough luck. You will not be able to feel that way while you're in process. And if you can't feel that way while you're in process, you're going to quit. Because emotionally, it will break you down. And I've never spoken about this before, and many people do not understand. You simply cannot sustain the effort that it takes to get to mega seller results while feeling hopeless, angry, enraged, desperate, blah, blah, blah. It's so boring. It feels so bad. It totally blocks your creative freedom and your creative abilities, which is what your entire business rests upon with print on demand. Your results are completely reliant on your level of creativity and fun and freedom and flow. And when you're seller centric, it's not happening. So when you're customer centric, there's always room for growth and additional learning. And you're not even thinking about your results. You're not even thinking about them because they're a byproduct. You're too busy building your expertise for your customer to worry about where your results are. It's too much fun. It's too much fun. And once you get bit by the bug and realize like, oh, I was just focused on the wrong stuff. And now that I'm doing the right stuff, I get to have fun and focus here and everything else takes care of itself. So it's not only the more effective path to be customer centric, it's also 100 times easier and more fun because you're dominantly feeling so much better throughout the entire process. You guys, I am not spitting woo-woo facts to you here. We're not being spiritual. We're not being woo-woo. We're not talking pie in the sky sort of stuff. We're not talking about, just love and light. This is not what this is about. This is about actual practical and realistic patterns in entrepreneurship that you have to master. You do not have a choice if you want to win. This is not woo-woo. This is facts. Okay? Customer-centric sellers have longevity and they have much more freedom and just natural positivity because of where they're focused and because of their detachment from outcome and their attachment to the right actions. This is why they stay longer. And because they stay longer, they're able to win bigger. Are you guys understanding this equation? It's huge. This is massive. Like they've got staying power. Mega sellers stick. And I'm not saying they won't experience negative emotions. Building any sort of business, at some point, you're going to experience negative emotions. But they more dominantly experience positive emotions because they're not being drained. The life is not being drained out of them, wondering where are my results, keeping them in this negative loop where forever and ever they feel like they're stuck in purgatory, which I know is how a lot of you feel. I know a lot of you feel like you're currently in purgatory because you cannot figure out how to create more sales faster. I never want to hear that question come out of anybody's mouth that's here today because it's boring, it's not useful, it's not only not productive, but it's sending you in the opposite direction. Every time you ask, how do I get more sales faster? You're throwing more traction and resistance on your trail to slow yourself down. Because you're not asking mega seller questions, you're not going to get mega seller results. So when you are seller centric, you're desperate. You're trying a lot of different things very quickly, just throwing stuff around, trying a million different avenues and a million different routes and a million different hacks. It's leading to nowhere fast. This is why people say, I feel like I have the right search engine optimization. I feel like I have good mockups. I feel like my designs are good. Because they're trying everything and they think they've got it right. But you're actually just pushing and forcing and feeling bad the whole time. No wonder so many seller-centric sellers literally drop off Etsy like flies. Because all of it is just like, I gotta push this out, I gotta try this, I gotta do this. Okay, I'm gonna spend 10 more hours on YouTube watching free content. Boring. So tired of it. I can't even imagine, I feel for you guys. I'm not saying I'm tired of hearing about it. I get it. I feel for you guys. I'm tired of it for you. I'm bored for you. Being seller-centric is so boring. When you're customer centric, you're always simply on the singular path of building expertise around your customers. And we're going to talk about exactly how to do this in a second. So if you're like, Brittany, get to the practical part, we're getting there. I have to drive this home. I have to make sure you guys understand where I'm coming from with this. When you're customer centric, you're not desperate. You're excited. You're not constantly seeking. You're calmly creating from a centered place. Because you don't have results or lack of results stressing you out. You're just focused where you're supposed to be focused. And you know that results are taking care of themselves because you're focused on the right actions. So isn't it no wonder so many customer-centric shops eventually become mega shops? It's no wonder. It makes perfect sense. So you might be saying, all right, Brittany, I'm skeptical, but fine. I'm resistant, but fine. Tell me how. So, okay, let's focus first on how a mega seller thinks for a second. How does a mega seller focus? Because if we reverse engineer that, then we get the answer of how. So think, if I wanted to truly shift to a customer-centric focus, what steps would I take to build expertise and finally do things the right way? Let's talk about some of these things, okay? You research, you brain prime, you build your mental archive. If you're new to me and you aren't familiar with these terms, I totally and completely made them up. They're just words to conceptualize the idea of building expertise within what's currently in demand, okay? Your mental archive is a small place in your subconscious that stores all this information, or a large place in your subconscious. So when you sit down to design, it feels effortless because your subconscious is doing the work for you. It literally works this way, okay? So you're doing this 2 to 3 hours a day. Hello, not a month. A day. This is your most important work. You create a designated Instagram account for trend spotting. You can put it on private. You're not posting anything. Don't follow your mom. Don't ask your mom to follow you. This is strictly a resource. You check it every day like the morning newspaper. You're following tons of inspo accounts. So your feed is currently always packed with what's trending. And you check it every single morning. You check it in line at the grocery store. You check it while you're on the toilet. You check it while you're brushing your teeth. You check it while you're picking up your kids from school. You check it while you're on a walk. This designated Instagram account for trend spotting is so powerful. So many people don't realize it. They are missing it. You create designs with templates based on already best-selling listings, right? You take a best-selling design, you don't copy it. That's also boring and it's also ineffective because it already exists. So why the hell would we copy it? You're creating templates based on the structure, based on maybe the colors, based on maybe creating a specific spin on the quote that was used. Ways to make it unique, but sticking with the core of what made it in demand. You're having conversations with your customers in Etsy messages about what they love about your items after they bought from you or what they'd like to see more of. Just like I was like, hey girl, you're wearing this to Coachella. I think you'd like this tank top. What else do you guys need? What else are your friends wearing? What else can I help you with for next time? You're having these really candid, still professional, but incredibly value-rich conversations to learn more about them. Because at the end of the day, they're what's creating your mega seller status. So why wouldn't you want to learn more from them, right? You could join Wolf School, my monthly membership, to learn more about every single week, by the way, current trends, what people are actually actively searching for, emotional connection, blah, blah, blah. I always talk about the fact that I have a superpower. I literally, you guys, have a superpower. I know what's going to trend well before it blows up. And I know how to emotionally connect with the people that are obsessed with this trend. So they buy it because emotions are what create sales. I don't know where this came from. I don't know why I have it. It would be a pretty useless special secret talent unless I taught people how to sell print on demand. So it worked out well for me. But this is what I created Wolf School for, is to pass off that power. And when I tell or when I get an idea about something, or when I have that special sparkly feeling like, oh, this is going to be the next big thing, the first people to hear about it are Wolf School. Usually the only people to hear about it are the people in Wolf School, okay? So whatever time you'd waste on free YouTube content, I hope to God after watching this workshop, You guys are willing to give that up. Because how far has it really gotten you? The stupid free YouTube content. It sucks. It doesn't build mega sellers. It's not getting you to where you want to go. It may be getting you short-term wins, but in the long term, that's wasting your time. So if you could shift that time of where you're binging YouTube, searching desperately for the next hack, maybe the next YouTube video, maybe this clickbait title is going to be what helps me. No, it's not. Spoiler alert. If you can shift that time you're spending on YouTube to just doing additional mental archive building, researching, spending time on Instagram, Etsy, Pinterest, urbanoutfitters.com, PacSun, all the places that have all the, on the edge things that are popping up, current trends, replace your YouTube time with that. Game over. You've now found the hack. Just doesn't feel like a hack, right? So if you focus more on learning and becoming better customer focused than at implementing hacks that will get you sales quicker, which is you focused, everything's going to start changing. And I have sellers that I convinced to do this, right? I convince them to make the shift and they start making sales because, of course, that's how it works. And then they say, whoa, I wasn't even trying. Because their interpretation of trying is that desperate feeling of attachment to their results. So when they're not attached to results and they happen anyway, it literally feels like you weren't even trying. But you were trying. You were trying very hard, just in the right things. You were researching, you were learning about your customers, you were pouring all of your focus and energy into the right action. But what you believe to be the right action and what actually is the right action are completely different things most of the time. So these students start getting results and they say, oh, this is so fun. It feels like I'm not even trying. But what they mean, like I said, is they're just lacking the desperation. That detachment to outcome has happened. And that's why the results are flowing in. And then they're like, oh, this is what Brittany has been yapping about for the last 3, 4, 5 years, however long you've been following me, right? And when I get that light bulb moment with people, I know, okay, you're set. We got you to where we needed you to be in order for you to take off. Now you're on the right trajectory, right? So remember, strategy is the easy part. I've got it all for you. In Top Seller Secret, the strategy is solid, it's proven, it's tested, it's good, right? So many of my students become mega sellers because they get the whole puzzle. Every piece of a rock solid strategy and exactly how to become fully customer centric, plus the solid strategy, is exactly what makes them customer centric. And that makes them the mega seller. Everything is an equation. And I've figured out the equations and I get to put those equations together and then try my damnedest to convince you to follow the equation. And when people do, they become mega sellers. All right. So you may be saying, okay, this all sounds great, but I have no idea how to really do any of that. Like, what are the details? I don't know how to brain prime, or I feel like I'm not very good at it, or I don't understand the strategy, or I do want to be customer centric, but I'm also missing the E-rank strategy that you said I also need, right? There's so many pieces of that. You are in luck because I've literally dedicated my entire life to teaching you the nitty grittiest details of how to do absolutely everything that I've spoken about here today. You don't have to worry about not understanding how to do it. I will teach you how to do it. I have every single resource to cover every single thing that you might be missing in order to become, or in order to complete your mega seller puzzle, right? So the foundational strategy that will support you in all of your efforts in becoming the expert, including E-rank, yes, absolutely, including search engine optimization, titles and tags, including scaling, including customer service, all of that is included in Top Seller Secret. You have to start there. Everybody says, but what if I miss? But what if I haven't opened a shop? But what if I've been selling for a while? But what if this? But what if that? No matter your condition or your current circumstance, Top Seller Secret is where you begin always, no matter what. There's no exceptions. If you need additional support on specific research or design topics, Research Revolution or Design Like a Mega Seller are the perfect deep dives into these specific topics, okay? So you guys, given what I've said here today, if things are clicking and you want a deeper dive, if you're not in my paid content yet, if you're not at that point where you felt like, okay, I need to actually do this in this certain way, if I've connected some dots in your equation today, you want to start with Top Seller Secret, or if you don't want to make that initial investment, if you still want to feel out my content, if you don't fully trust me yet, I get it. Research Revolution or Design Like a Mega Seller, I can get you guys those links, right? I'm going to put the links in my Instagram. And I can also put them in the chat here. But these are the places where you need to start to continue building those expertise, right? Starting at Top Seller Secret, Research Revolution for research, Design Like a Mega Seller for design. Before I joined Top Seller Secret and was thinking about Etsy, I went on Facebook and asked friends who had done it and if they felt it was a good business model. And so many friends complained about fees, customer messages, and how it's good for a side hustle but can't make real money. Glad I didn't listen and kept moving forward. Yeah, those people were seller-centric. It felt bad the whole time because they just didn't know what they're doing, but it's a lot easier to blame other things or they don't even realize they didn't know what they were doing, right? Dana says, I needed to hear this today. All makes so much sense. Thanks for jumping on. Amazing. I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed it. Does anybody have any other questions? It's the first time I've heard you and I'm so glad I'm here because you are making so much sense. Good, Anne-Marie. Thank you. Loving this. Light bulbs going off. Started implementing TSS data-backed designs, and this is the fastest I've had. X people have this in their cart. Tells me I'm going the right direction. Database decisions and designs, 100% Rosalia. And the more you do of that, the bigger and better results you're going to see. No more sad grief energy. No, Caitlin. Sad grief energy, the only thing it's telling you, it's helpful if you use it as information. It's only telling you that you're attached to results. It's only telling you that you're being seller-centric. And this isn't something that you should be beating yourself up about, of course, but it is something that you should be taking note of and redirecting always. It's funny because I have some designs that I'm attached to that have sold very little, and some of the ones I have made that I thought were awful and I almost did not list sold well. Maybe not being attached is key. Lissa, I think not being attached in general is key. It doesn't matter which designs you love. It doesn't matter which designs you don't love. What matters is what people are looking for. So it's not necessarily that because you were attached to the designs you thought were going to sell, they didn't sell. That's not necessarily the case, right? Because plenty of people will love a certain design and it does sell very well. So it's not that your attachment to the design being the thing to sell is what's making it not sell. It's just that you're attached to results in general. That's just that you're attached to things specifically and not open and flexible enough to just be like, I'm just putting this out. I love it. I hope other people do too. If they don't, I'm never going to think about it again, right? It's all in your attitude and your approach and your perspective. This is my best POD friend talking me off the sales ledge half an hour ago. Yeah. You guys, sales attachment, results attachment is so boring. Browse Etsy as a consumer and you can literally see designs that you're like, who would buy this? There's no emotional connection. It feels forced. Exactly. All right. Just a few weeks into TSS and I did not jump to E-rank, following the process and working through all the great material. Amazing, Leanne. That's the right thing to do. Do you work mainly with people selling clothing? Anne-Marie, yes. So I teach print on demand, t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts. My strategy applies to literally anything you want to sell on Etsy. I sold handmade for many years, and the strategies that we're applying to print on demand are what I applied to the products that I used to sell. However, I teach print on demand for a reason. If you want to make the most money in the fastest way with the most opportunity and the highest profit margins, like you follow other people, even if you do follow people on YouTube and they have all these success stories, they're like, woohoo, so-and-so sold $100,000 this month. And everybody's like, okay, what was the profit margin? And they're like, 5%. We don't do things that way. Like, I teach you guys how to actually make money in an aligned way that makes sense with the highest possible profit margins in the fastest possible ways. And I cut directly to the things that work the best because I've tried literally everything. And I, at this point, know what works the best. So people say, well, I know you teach t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, but I don't want to sell that. I want to sell this. And I'm like, that's fine. You can sell whatever you want. You can use my strategies to sell whatever you want. But what you're going to discover is that profit margins are slimmer. Getting into certain markets is harder. There's less opportunity. Once you understand what I do in E-Rank, you'll understand why I structure things the way that I do based on data. There's thought behind everything. I'm not just like, I like t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hoodies, so I'm going to teach people how to sell that. That's not the way that I work. Everything is based in data, and I'm always making decisions based on how to get you guys to where you want to go the fastest. And I know I just said we're not asking that question, but I'm asking that question in terms of value and helping you get focused, because results are always the main goal. I'm not teaching you guys here how to not get results. I'm teaching you how to get results by focusing in a different area, because it's very paradoxical with business. You have to be focused in a different area. You have to take your your mind off of where are my sales in order to create them. Happy to be here. One question, how do I look for trends on Instagram? I do know how to do it on Pinterest, but on Instagram, I've never done. Yeah, this is Camilla. This is a very popular question, and it's why I created Research Revolution. Instagram is the gold mine. It is the absolute gold mine. And I'm going to put the Research Revolution link here. It is the gold mine of brain priming because it's new every day. It's new every minute. There's an explore page to hook you up with even similar accounts to the accounts that you're following, right? There's different types of accounts. You're not just researching clothing. You're barely researching clothing. You're researching like everything else. And that's what I teach you in Research Revolution. There's certain accounts that you need to follow, types of things that you need to be paying attention to. There's this whole process between taking it from inspiration and actually going into execution. It's all covered there. I have over 90,000 followers on Facebook. It has taken me years to grow that many followers, but it has not been getting me any results. Yeah, I mean, it's a value game. If what you're creating and the emotional connection, because you know your customers so well and you're so focused on your customers, if all of that aligns and the equation is equationing in the way that it needs to be, the results happen as a byproduct. But if you're not getting the results and the equation is not lining up, it's a matter of refocusing. And that's what this entire workshop here today was about. Towards adding Wolf School, is it month to month or one time for full access? It is month to month. So whatever month you join in Wolf School, you get access to that month. And then it's like a rolling monthly membership. So you're charged 30 days from when you first signed up, every 30 days, but you can cancel anytime. Top Seller Secret is the best and just joined Wolf School. Love. Brittany is the real deal. I was out running errands and I literally turned around and drove home to hop on. Oh, Charlene, that's so sweet. Thanks, Brittany. Motivating as usual. Highest compliment ever. That is so sweet. Thank you. Is there a way to still access the 2024 Ultimate Wolf Challenge? I have 2023, but not 2024. Yes, Caitlin, if you DM me on Instagram, I can get you that link. You can go back and watch the videos and use all the design templates in there. I'm not selling it publicly, but if you DM me, I'll get you the link. During your presentation, you described me so many times. Yes. Okay. You guys, I just want to say, if you felt like I was speaking to you, it's because we're all much more similar than we realize. And more often than not, almost everybody who is in the beginning phases of that learning curve, Teddy's scratching her ears. Sorry, she's squealing in the background. Everybody who's in those beginning learning phases has the same emotions. They're reacting the same way. They're attaching to the same things. And at this point, I've worked with so many of you throughout so many of those different phases that it's like, I just get it. I know exactly how you're thinking and feeling. And I know exactly how to get you out of those areas. But the problem is most people don't want what I'm telling you here today. They want what people on YouTube are telling them. But the second problem is what people on YouTube are telling them, it doesn't work. So it's a problem. Yes, let's see. I'm spending so much time watching Etsy gurus expecting to have the magical formula from them. I have my store and no sales. Yeah, so Jana, you're not gonna get a magical formula. Just like you're not gonna find a piano teacher who can wave a wand over your brain so you can play Mozart. It's not how it works. You have to put in the time. You have to become an expert. Going back to that, find me a single shop that's selling mega sales, thousands of sales a week, that has not mastered demand. Show me one, anyone. If anybody is willing to rise to that occasion and take on that challenge, I would love to see it. But you will not be able to, because thousands of sales a week do not exist without demand. Demand does not exist without doing the work, without getting into the research, without building your mental archive. And what people don't understand about YouTube is people are churning out free content to grab your attention. They're saying whatever they think you want to hear to get your attention, so you pay attention to their video so they can make money off of your attention. They're not there to actually help you most of the time. I don't know that I've ever found a single YouTube video that I'm like, oh, I'm glad this is out. The design like a mega seller link. I purchased a couple of courses from of the YouTubers. I learned a lot, but feeling the need to unlearn now. Yeah. And like I said, a lot of times it works. stuff people teach you will work, but it gets 5% profit margins. So like, is it working or are you wasting your time? Is it working or are you just doing stuff to create results and not actually thinking about the amount of money you're creating or the things that you're doing? Like, people are just grabbing at straws all the time, right? And so the way that I've structured everything is, here's how to make the most money in the fastest way possible, but it will require work. I tell you up front, this isn't easy. I tell you up front, this is going to take effort. I tell you up front, this is like any other skill. There is no magic formula. I don't know why people think of it that way. I lost so much money on ads from bad advice. Yeah, don't run ads. Don't run ads. Don't sell products that are low profit margin. Don't list 2,000 listings thinking that quantity is going to help boost you in the algorithm and then more people will buy from you. You can have 2,000 listings that nobody wants. That's very possible, right? It's quality, meaning level of demand over quantity at all times, no exceptions. We have to stop wasting our time, because you know what drives those decisions, by the way? When you guys are like, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, I'm going to buy from them, I'm going to do this. Attachment to outcome. Attachment to outcome scrambles your judgment. It makes you choose certain things out of desperation, which leads you down additionally incorrect paths and perpetuates the bad emotions. And somewhere you have to put your foot down and say, the cycle has to stop. I have to shift to the process. I have to allow it to be fun. I have to actually focus on something other than myself. Okay. Guilty of going straight to E-rank strategy, but then went back and it's all gold. Yeah, it's something a lot of people do, because when you're in the mindset, you think that what you need is what is not something that you need. I mean, obviously you need the E-rank strategy, but the way that you prioritize things when you're seller centric and when you're attached to outcome is scrambled. It's scrambled and it's not realistic. And when I see people go straight to E-rank, I'm like, damn. Because I know those people are going to take longer to get to mega seller status, because I can tell their judgment is scrambled. They're focused on the strategy and not on the customer experience. I can tell that they're not at the point yet. It's going to take them time. It's going to take them hearing me say it 17 trillion times over again before something clicks and they shift to the customer-centric focus, which actually is what creates the results. You guys, having the E-rank strategy with shitty products because you refuse to spend time researching and getting better, it's not going to do a damn thing for you. E-rank is so powerful when combined with expertise. But everybody just wants to be handed the E-rank strategy. And I could probably make more course sales if I was like, E-rank is the only thing you need. If I just got on here and created a workshop about E-rank, I guarantee you I could sell more courses. My goal is to not sell more courses. My goal is to actually improve my customers, you guys. You guys are my target audience. You guys are the people I want to serve. My only goal is to help you get what you want, just like you should be helping your customers get what they want. Not focused on how do I get what I want? How do I help them get what they want? And then what I want happens like a landslide. What I'm teaching you here today is not just about print on demand. This is like business 101. And so few people talk about it. I'm so excited to learn from you. I really needed to hear real talk. Amazing, Liz. I'm really glad you're here. Would you recommend doing Research Revolution or Design Like a Mega Seller first? Always went through Top Seller Secret and doing 2 to 3 hours of brain priming daily. Already went through Top Seller Secret. Caitlin, it depends on what you need. So people ask me this all the time. Should I be in Research Revolution or Design Like a Mega Seller? What do you need? Right? I'm not in your brain. I don't know what you're missing. I don't know, like, some people are much stronger in other areas than some others. And like, if you're struggling with research, get into Research Revolution. If you're struggling with design, get into design. Like, no, neither is more important than the other. You need all the pieces, right? So if you're struggling really equally with both, get into both, or start with whichever one sounds like more fun and get the other down the road, right? But like, everybody has to kind of look internally and trust themselves in terms of like, I know research is what I'm struggling with the most, and I know I need to begin there, so I'll get into Research Revolution first. Or I know that design is what's really, and you're thinking in terms of building expertise. You're not thinking which one should I get first in order to create sales faster. Okay? We spent the whole day talking about that. So of course you wouldn't do that, but I just want to reiterate, you should not be choosing resources based on what's going to help me make sales faster. That's thinking like a seller-centric thinker, which is keeping you stuck. Thinking like a mega seller says, which is going to help me become better at providing for my customers. Yeah, Caitlin, I'm not saying that's how you're thinking. I'm just using this as a teaching moment for everybody. Even if you're buying from YouTubers, if you're on YouTuber and you're buying a different course, make sure where you're choosing to invest your money doesn't go into a resource because you think it's going to be the thing. This is going to be the hack. How many of you got so excited when I said the 3 keywords in the description is going to get you on the first page of search results? I know, you guys. I know that's what you're wanting. Yeah, Rosalia says me. But guess what? Like I said, I was like, no way. Exactly. But it's because you think, you're like, well, my designs are good enough. If I just got in front of more people, they'd buy. The truth is they wouldn't, because you don't know enough yet. You're not good enough yet. If you were, you'd already be making the sales. You don't need the secret keywords. Girl, I'm not lying. I stopped and looked at the screen because I was like, what? Yeah. Yeah, so it would be like this is the experience though. It would be like another YouTube thing. It'd be another hack that you'd see and get excited about and implement, and then guess what? Nothing would change. Because the only thing that ever matters is your level of demand expertise. Getting in front of more people does not equal more sales. It just equals more people standing in front of you going, I don't want that. Right? That's why I did that, because I wanted you guys to viscerally experience in a very strong way your level of outcome attachment. And that sucks. It sucks to admit. I know a lot of you are like, damn it, I knew better. But I did that on purpose, because this whole workshop was to try to convince you to detach, to refocus, to have more fun, to open up creatively. And I wanted to prove a point at the beginning that a lot of you are more outcome attached than you even realize. That would have been nice, but if that was a real hack, a lot more people would be doing it. And the fact is, there are no hacks. Those hacks don't exist. There are no hacks. And this should be freeing for you guys. You don't have to look for any more hacks. They don't exist. Yeah, Alyssa says, I'm realizing how attached I have been for the first time. Good. That's the entire point of this whole workshop, is because you can't fix it until you know it exists. You cannot correct something that is outside of your awareness. The hack is changing your mindset, not your strategy. Nailed it. Nailed it. What is the message here? Can someone explain? The message is we just did a whole workshop. I'm going to send out, if you're on my email list, I'm going to send out the replay. The message is customer-centric versus seller-centric. Make it about your customers. Make it about the experience. Make it about demand. Make it about building your expertise, and not about finding strategies. Definitely want to learn with you. So you have different courses. Is there one that has the full content? Yeah, Gianna, Top Seller Secret, period, end of story. Anybody that wants to learn from me and needs the strategic foundation, all my E-Rank SEO stuff, like the strategy pieces that you need, and to begin building the expertise, you have to start with Top Seller Secret. A lot of people, I just posted something on my stories the other day. A lot of people start with my smaller courses because they want to save money. But they realize oh, I just should have started with Top Seller Secret. And it's not to say my other courses, my smaller courses aren't valuable, but they're value adders. They're deeper dives, to help fill in the gaps for people that need it. But Top Seller Secret is the stuff that everyone needs. Nothing like a casual Saturday reality check. So needed this. I'm so happy to hear that, Laura. I told you guys, I woke up like that. So Raven, I was like, I know the message. I got to send it. People need to hear this. Let's go. Oops, did I just send, I think I put the Top Seller Secret link in a private message. There's the link for everybody. Thanks for building us up today. How's your new baby? Shannon, she's great. Shannon's referring to the new car I got last week. The new car is amazing. I drive it every single day. This was so good, you guys. I'm so glad I did this. I will not lie. There was like 5 times when I was sending out the email, when I was putting together the slides this morning, when I was doing a bunch of different stuff, that I was like, I'm not doing this today. I'm not doing this today. I'm not doing this today. And like something kept pushing me to do it. And then all of a sudden I was like, I gotta do it. Let's go. And I got really excited, and I'm so glad I did. I couldn't pass these kids off fast enough to my husband. Bye. I love it, Laura. Really good one. Your motivation workshops are my favorite. Thank you. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up then. If you need any of the links, if you need Top Seller Secret, if you need Research Revolution, if you need Design Like a Mega Seller and you didn't get them in the chat, make sure to DM me on Instagram at BeAWolfBiz and I'll get you all the links. But I need you guys focused, right? So let's do this. Do you ever go over someone's shop? No, I do not offer shop critiques because typically people don't need them. They need to be in Top Seller Secret. You guys are welcome. I'll talk to you soon.